What type of dreamer are you? There are 5 distinct ways that you could be prone to dream based on how God has wired you. And I'm going to tell you how you can discover your own unique dreamer type today. Plus, we're going to see what Star Wars has to do with all of this. All of that on this week's Dreamers and Disciples. Now, as I've coached leaders over the last 18 months, I've noticed 5 different dreamer types, each with its own set of strengths to leverage and weaknesses that can get in your way. So in today's episode, I want to quickly walk you through all 5 so you can realize what your own strengths are and ways that you can grow in this season to bring the dreams that God has placed in your heart to life. But first, the key to maximizing this episode is to know your specific dreamer type. So I have a free quiz called the Dreamer Quiz. Very creative name there, but it's at Joye.com. It's a free 9-question quiz that'll take you less than 2 minutes to complete, and you'll get your results detailing your strengths, pitfalls to avoid, and action steps and resources for growth emailed directly to you. So to get yours, go to Joye.com/Dreamer Quiz, or check the link in the video description or show notes. Now, here's why this is important. When you clearly understand how you dream, the way you live life and pursue those dreams changes for the better, because you start to learn how to overcome your limiting beliefs, how to stop sabotaging your dream in its earliest stages. You learn what strengths you should go all in on, and also where you need help and accountability. You also start to get a grasp on what your superpowers look like as a dreamer, and also how you can best serve and help others. So I want to help you answer the question, what type of dreamer am I? And start unlocking new tools for growth, a greater trust in God, and just be empowered to walk in the passions and the giftings that God has given you that line up with His Word and line up with where He's leading. Now, each dreamer type has a set of strengths or superpowers and a shadow side or weaknesses that we need to be aware of. We're going to learn all about that. But plus, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so I'm going to geek out a little bit. I've always tried to figure out a way to get Star Wars into this podcast and onto this YouTube channel. So I'm also going to give you a Star Wars character that exemplifies each dreamer profile. And then also I'm going to give you a Bible verse that highlights what tends to shine through you as you dream. Then at the end of the episode, I'm going to share what my dreamer profile is, or at least which one I think I am right now, because I do think it can change slightly in different seasons. All right, let's dive right in. Our first dreamer profile is the measured dreamer. Now, if you're a measured dreamer, you are known for your thoughtfulness, prayerful contemplation, and making decisions with careful and meticulous planning. You usually like to wait for a high degree of certainty before taking a step forward, seeking as much wisdom as you possibly can as you seek God's guidance. Now, your superpower is your diligence to gain wisdom and to plan in a way that sets you up for success and accounts for worst-case scenarios. Your shadow side, though, can be fear, which usually results in being too slow or hesitant to act. Now, I love to think of Proverbs 24, verses 3-4, when I think about the measured dreamer, which says, "By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures." So a measured dreamer loves to seek out and pursue wisdom and knowledge to make better decisions. Now, in terms of Star Wars characters, when I think of a measured dreamer, I think of Yoda. Yoda has had 900 years of wisdom and solitude and training and gathering knowledge. So he's had time to learn a lot. He's immensely powerful, but he doesn't flaunt it either. I think I probably like him too because he is lacking in height like myself. But Yoda also waited too long to act in the course of the prequels, episodes 1-3. And so the Republic was being corrupted, the Sith were rising, all underneath his nose, and he could have been much more decisive and taken action sooner. So Yoda is a good example of a measured dreamer. Now let's move on to our second dreamer profile, and that's the professional dreamer. So if that's you, you've achieved usually a lot of success in pursuing your dreams, particularly in your career, your business, or your ministry. You're highly driven. You have a track record of accomplishing what you set out to do. You're probably decisive and firm in your faith and convictions. Now, your superpower as a professional dreamer is your determination and your discipline, which usually shows itself in a strong work ethic. But your shadow side can show up in sacrificing the things that bring you joy and not prioritizing the relationships that matter the most to you in your life. Now, Proverbs 14:23 is a great verse for the professional dreamer because they believe what this proverb says, that all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. So you've got a great work ethic, like I said. And the Star Wars character that comes to mind with the professional dreamer is Padme Amidala. Now, she was the queen of her homeworld, Naboo, as a teenager, so she had early success. Then she moved on to being a senator, and she was passionate about the fight for justice and democracy. Yet she didn't have much time for healthy relationships. And the key word is healthy, since she didn't make time for a hidden relationship with Anakin Skywalker, which, if you watch the movies, that didn't turn out too well. But overall, she was highly successful, very ambitious. But as time went on, she seemed to lack a lot of true joy in her life. So that's the professional dreamer. Now, the third dreamer profile is the loyal dreamer. If you're a loyal dreamer, you are faithful and dependable. You're usually known as the person who will do what they said they will do. You often find joy and fulfillment in supporting other dreamers and helping their dreams come to life. You also don't mind serving behind the scenes. Your superpower as a loyal dreamer is your trustworthiness and your consistency. People know they can count on you to get the job done. But your shadow side is insecurity. It's discounting your own dreams or shrinking back because you don't think you deserve to dream yourself. Now, Proverbs 3, verses 3-4 is a great verse to describe the attributes of a loyal dreamer. It says, "Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man." Now, our Star Wars character that really represents the loyal dreamer is Chewbacca, or Chewie, if you're a fan. And he is the epitome of a loyal dreamer because he's strong, he's a hero in his own right, but he's always seen supporting his friends, mainly Han, but also Luke, Leia, and later even Rey. He is definitely the one you want on your side. He's the unsung hero of the group. In fact, he supported his friends getting medals at the end of A New Hope when he didn't get one himself. But Chewie also never got, at least as far as we saw in the movies, he never got to live out the dreams that were in his heart. He never got to take a step to bring to life something that mattered to him. He was always supporting someone else, but never truly taking a step into what he was passionate about or dreamed about. Although it's hard to really know since he doesn't talk. All right, now let me remind you, we're halfway through, or a little over halfway through. But take the quiz. If you want to know what your dreamer type is, take the quiz, wadejoye.com/dreamer quiz. Now, the next profile is the courageous dreamer. If this is you, you are a risk taker who fearlessly pursues your dreams. You're usually full of faith with a strong vision for how you want your life to be used by God. You're typically a make a big move, ask questions later type person with the superpower of boldness, and you're willing to take a step even in the face of fear. But your shadow side is recklessness, and you can be too hasty to take a step without fully counting the cost. Now, Proverbs 28:1, and now this is actually a verse that I have clung to this year because I want to be more like the courageous dreamer, is Proverbs 28:1 says, "The wicked flee though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." I love that. Now, Han Solo is the quintessential courageous dreamer.
I know.
In a universe full of Jedi and other fantastical creatures, he's just a normal guy who's not afraid to take on the Empire with just the Millennium Falcon and Chewie by his side. He'll run to the fire. He deals with the consequences later. But his tendency to run from consequences, though, eventually catches up to him when he's captured by Boba Fett and frozen in carbonite by Darth Vader. Now, that brings us to our final dreamer profile, which is the visionary dreamer. And as a visionary dreamer, you have a lot of interests and are bursting with ideas and creativity. You love to tackle a new challenge or chase a new dream, and you see the world as full of possibilities to use your gifts for God. Your superpower is your imagination and the creativity that flows from it. But your shadow side is fickleness, revealing itself when you stop being passionate about your current idea and you start chasing the next dream or challenge, which results in a lack of execution. Ecclesiastes 11:6 is a perfect verse for you. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. So you chase a lot of different dreams, knowing that some of them will succeed, while some won't bring the return that you wanted to see. Luke Skywalker is our visionary dreamer example. Luke was always dreaming about something, being a pilot, becoming a Jedi, being a hero, redeeming his father, saving his friends, even rebuilding the Jedi Order. And he accomplished mostly all of those things, but he did lack the follow through to finish certain things like his training with Yoda or to finish rebuilding the Jedi Academy, which honestly all fell apart. But Luke overall was always dreaming about the future. And he started a lot of things. He stepped into a lot of dreams, but struggled with the follow through. So those are our 5 dreamer profiles. We've got the measured dreamer, the professional dreamer, the loyal dreamer, the courageous dreamer, and the visionary dreamer. None of these are better than any of the others. They're just helpful categories to know how you are prone to dream so you can lean into your strengths and also surround yourself with the right people and develop your weaknesses. Now, personally, I consider myself mostly a measured dreamer. I can be more methodical in my approach, and I like to think and pray a lot through decision. So I believe that's my default, but I also know that I can be hesitant to act sometimes. I can be a bit fearful and wait too long to take the step that I know I need to take. But in this season of my life, though, I actually connect a lot with the visionary dreamer because I have tons of ideas right now. And sometimes I don't know which ideas to try to bring to life, what to move towards, whether or not I should move towards a lot of them or if that spreads me too thin. So I'm really trying to grow in this area, knowing what to focus on, what to develop. And I'm asking for God to give me a lot of wisdom and discernment in those areas of my life. And I mentioned this earlier, different seasons of your life may bring out not just new dreams, but also new ways to dream. So it's important to keep your hands open and be prayerfully self-aware about what God is doing in your heart. And you might have an idea as I was going through these dreamer profiles quickly of what you are. But I think you should take the quiz to see what results you get, because you'll also get an email with more details on your strengths, your weaknesses, as well as some resources and action steps for how you can grow that we didn't have time to get into in this episode. So just go to wadejoye.com/dreamer quiz or check out the link in the show notes or the description of this video. And let me know in the comments which dreamer type you are in this season of your life. I'd love to know, do we have a lot of visionary dreamers on here, measured dreamers, loyal dreamers? I want to know what you are so we can encourage each other together. And then don't forget to subscribe to the podcast or to this YouTube channel, and then leave us a review as well. That really helps get the show more exposure and get the message of the gospel and of how we can live as dreamers and disciples to more people. I'll see you back here on the next episode.